Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for some DC reviews, and in these DC reviews I'll be covering issue 39 of World's Finest, along with issue 7 of Batman and Robin Year 1. I'll now get things ready and organised for the first one that I'll be reviewing. So as we start to move into Batman and Robin, correction there, World's Finest, issue 39, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7.5 out of 10, because what you do see here is also what you see within the story, and there's quite a lot happening between, well, past as well as present in relation to not only the Justice League, but also the Batman and Robin, the Batman Superman World's Finest in this particular issue. So as the story begins, we turn up in the present day, to which the World's Finest have appeared into the future, and the Justice League Unlimited members are now in the past. And whilst this is occurring, we realize that there's been a lot happening that they have sort of learned about whilst they've been here. As we start to jump towards the middle of the story, we have an encounter with members of the Legion of Doom and also the villains that are in the story. And last but not least, towards the end, to which, of course, there's a lot happening between both past and present within this storyline. For the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10, as I actually quite like what was done with what was shown in the panels that were addressing the past, as well as those addressing the present, and where each of the characters are in these particular timelines. Next is the area of the story. So, considering how far we are, did we get any comic book references? Sure enough, we did, to the World's Finest annual, so that would be quite likely the recent one that we had with it. Next is the area of time, to which we had present day as well as the past. The locations that we got to see within the story was the Justice League Watchtower as well as the satellite, plus the Fortress of Solitude, which was really nice to see in the story. Last but not least, the cast of characters consisting of the Justice League, which is connected to the Justice League Unlimited, along with the Legion of Doom and what they are doing in the story. Of course, with them using the name Inferno and one of the characters connected to it. And, of course, we got to see Lois Lane and Alfred make an appearance. For the overall rating, I give it a 7.5 out of 10, as it was actually quite fun to read through this issue. Next is Batman and Robin Year 1, Issue 7. Now, I know why I stuffed up before and said why I said things the way I said it, because normally I do Batman and Robin Year 1 first, then followed by World's Finest. So, at least with this time around, yes, it's been slightly altered, only because of the way I screwed things up with the thumbnail, but that's neither here or there. But let's get to the review of this issue. So starting off with first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? In some essence it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art, as we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end, and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. So as the story begins, we are at the headquarters of General Grimaldi, and of course there's someone who's turned up on the scene, who's trying to show their sort of like place in what would almost be considered Gotham's underworld, but who exactly is this person? Now, in between the issues to where we see here, we catch up with Dick Grayson and some of the things that are happening at school, and of course he gets into a bit of a kerfuffle or a bit of a fight of sorts And of course, they do have a bit of a talk about it back at the Wayne Manor. We also get to see some of the things that were happening between the week or in the week before we get to see this with Batman and Robin. And last but not least, towards the end, to which we learn about what Clayface is actually doing in this story. So, for the internal art, I give it a 7 out of 10. Next is the area of the story itself. First things first is the area of the time, to which we had in the area of the time, we did actually have the days of the week, so basically Sunday to Saturday. Next is the locations, which we got to see the headquarters of General Grimaldi. We got to see some of the things take place in Gotham, plus the Batcave. Next is the cast of characters, to which we got to see Two-Face, Bruce Wayne Batman, Dick Grayson Robin, Grimaldi himself, Alfred, and last but not least, the character of Clayface. For the overall story rating, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.